Big bros. There's one of them in every room.
They both say thing.
No, don't sit there. Yeah, I want urban dryer, sugar on wheels.
This dim light's gonna lose. I will take it off in a minute, but I am cold.
You have no body fat.
Yeah, you got nothing. Yeah.
That's what I want.
Do you want to like kick a ball at you? Is that how we start the thing?
Give me a visual cue when you're about to start.
Yeah, sure. Wait till everyone's in, doors shut. Yeah. Going to like You okay?
So it's like, oh, somebody's talking about something. I don't want to go search back through various threads or something. I want to go, oh, here's a thread that we're discussing this week. And I can find it. I don't know if that showed up.
Hey everyone now before we start. Not starting yet. I'm just gonna. Just before we start, everyone, if you could do us a favour, not starting yet, if you could do us a favour, airplane mode on the phones. We've had a bit of an internet issue, so to make sure everything goes smoothly, airplane mode will be massively appreciated. And there will be some app updates, but it'll be after the keynote, so please don't try and download anything during it, because you'll kill it for everyone. Okay, thank you. We'll start very shortly.
download it. Fucks it up, mate. Right, yeah. It's in my opponent, that's why I said you walk around and don't play it. Do we start by just kicking the ball to you?
Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Lock and Load US 2025 Keynote. Again, just before we start, I cannot say how much we appreciate the love and support you guys have done here at the show and obviously at home as well for this amazing game that we are the custodian on now. Super, super happy. And again, thank you from us and thank you to you guys for continuing supporting Warmachine. Let's go to the first bit. Let's get some interesting stuff on the screen. So just for people, yeah, it's not the most interesting yet. In case anyone doesn't know who we are, so I'm Rich Luxem, co-founder and CEO. Matt Hart behind me is co-founder and CCO. So we started Steamforge 11.
And a lot thinner.
A lot thinner now, yeah. These are our old photos, so we've kind of slimmed down a bit. We started this company 11 years ago, so it's been a crazy journey from being players to now being custodians of Warmachine, so pretty cool. If we go to the next slide, it's not just us. There is a massive team behind this project. Some people you got here, Jamie Perkins, internet famous and worldwide famous now, I believe. So our senior product owner, we have Sherwin Matthews, the lore expert as well, one of the senior product owners. And Russ, who is in the room, is our sculpting maestro. Yeah. And we also have some other faces you don't see as common. So Toby Davis is also in the room. He's our commercial director. He will be, anyone around the show on Sunday, he's going to be a seminar on our war stores. So if you've got a local gaming store that isn't a war store yet, definitely have a chat to Toby. We'll do a seminar to take back information to help get more stores into the game. China, as we all know, is superb in our marketing. Making sure we keep ourselves in check. Andy as well, who's been manning basically the event side and all that. My coordinator. And I cannot say anything about Travis. We all know Travis. We love Travis. So let's kick things off. An update from our Depthzone keynote. We've got a big thing to follow because that keynote was pretty good. So we hope we've managed to meet people's expectations with this one. So some of the things we're going to be covering today. First announced at Depthcon, we're going to go through the merch. We're going to look at P3 paints, the press gangers, the organized play, Warmachine Digital, Mini Crate, Warmachine Core Book, Armies of Legend, Forge Fire, License Partners, and a load more stuff in this one. So it's quite a big one. So get ready for this. Okay. Lock and Load merch. I've got it on. Everyone else? Yeah. So merch is back. The Lock and Load merch, everyone here has managed to get it. This will be available in Lock and Load EU next year as well, but we'll keep it for Lock and Load events. However, we got more merch. So this is now all kind of tested and ready. So this will be coming onto the web store very shortly. So everyone will be able to get the merch. As we can see here, modeled by Matt. Yeah, nice new merch. The merch as well, we'll be doing kind of a core range and then we'll have waves over time. So there'll be new shirts coming in and out, things like that. So kind of cool drops and that. P3 Paints has been a massive success that's come back. We've literally sold out everything from the crowdfunder. The demand has been insane. We've got a big batch coming in, I think Christmas, I'm looking at Toby, Christmas time. It should be all arriving in. Again, get in touch with your stores if they haven't got P3, make sure they're getting in. The Wave 2 Pledge Manager for the extension range is closing soon, so if you haven't got on that, you definitely want to get into it. Check it out now. Honestly, this paint range has been blown us away. Matt's done incredible work taking this, on the shoulders of giants with, Mike McVeigh and where it started all the way through the eras. So it really is top notch. So please check it out if you haven't already. We've got the paint and take here as well, so have a go at that. as you can see, very famous people have said very nice things, which is very nice to us, right? So yeah, it's loved, absolutely loved. The P3 Grandmaster Awards. So best army of the singles we've got going on here. The singles category entry is over there. If you haven't entered, please get your entries in. Display your armies on the Saturday night. So I think you've been going around doing that. So if you're into that, Saturday night we're going to go through, look at the armies, and then we'll do the announcements on Sunday for everyone here. Core book. So when we took over Warmachine, one of the big requests was, can we get back into printed media? We brought the book back, right? So we've actually got a printed rule book. We've got some early copies here, so people have been getting them. But December the 11th is going to be in your local game stores and all around, so definitely get this. I believe it's been pretty popular, so definitely secure a copy as soon as you can. The Organised Play Kit, another one we said we'd get out there. So that has been announced now and launched. So again, getting that into your local game stores, whether you're a war store, whether you're a local game store, or whether you're an event organizer, getting this in there. We're starting more events. The more events we have, the more the kind of grows on Longshank, etc., the better this is, right? We know how important community is and how important organised play is, and this is just the start of our journey there. We want to get a pack into play with the new kind of command cards you've seen, get that going. Do not forget as well, as it said, the best painted winner. What we want to do as we want to celebrate is in those packs is a QR code scan. Take pictures of your army, submit your army, and hopefully they will then come, we'll select some and actually go on the next set of command cards. So really kind of cool community thing for you. Press gangers. We are getting very, very close to getting this to where it needs to be. So we have a URL there. Is that the technical term now? Pressganger.com. So please check it out. Not right now. You'll kill our internet. Everyone here, everyone at home, crack on. But we've got a little sign up there. So if you express interest, we want to do an early testing of our event system that is based around the Pressganger one. We'll be selecting that and rolling out slowly. We don't want to rush this out. It's a big piece of the Warmachine history, and we want to make sure we get it right. We need feedback from the community to make sure it's right. So we want to do that slowly and make sure it's right. We're hoping by kind of end of Q1 next year, we're ready to do a public launch of that. Cador Old Umbre. I'm going to pass to Matt Hart.
Good evening, everyone. I was going to build that up, China. I was going to be all tension and all sorts. Who's pressing the button? Wow. No, I'm joking. So this is, the painter in me says that this is work in progress. I didn't have much time to finish it off after all the other bits and pieces we were doing. But, yeah, this is the 120mm Gargantuan for Old Umbre. I've built this one with the carnivorous head, the massive stick. I don't think that's the final name. We'll probably kind of like come up with a better name than that. And the boulder option. It's about 31 points. The most important thing to remember about this is that boulder has weight of stone, and it's a range 12 weight of stone. I kind of wish Jay was here, because I was playing him at Nova and he said, you know what would be great is a Strix with its wings wide open landing. I'm like, yeah, dude, that'd be amazing. So Jay, it is for you. The good news about this one, and this is something that we are going to try and do more and more of, because as you know, for us, competitive play is incredibly important, but as is casual play and also the hobby side of things. So we want to start producing a lot more content. So I recorded the painting of this model, and we're going to start stitching those together, get those released, so we can actually start showing how we actually get the paint onto these models. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I painted this model 3 times. I enjoyed it so much. I was fiddling about trying to like finalise my colour scheme, but yeah, I was really happy with the green on it and everything. So yeah, mini crate version. It's the Old Umbre version of Vickle, and she's lovely. All right. Southern Creel's Kithguard. So we all know that Kithguard is coming. I'm going to hand over to Sherwin. He's going to give you a little quick potted history of where we're at with Kithguard, why they're important, and how they feature in the story. Those of you that played in the narrative event have probably already got a bit of a sneaky peek into some of the things that are starting to happen in that area of the world. But Sherwin, over to you.
Sure. So in 609 AR, Madrak Ironhide led the trolls to the south, to Alkier, to escape persecution in the Iron Kingdoms. And the first part of the forces that they have, the Brine Blood Marauders, we're all quite familiar with, and as Matt says, they kind of have a bit of a crisis at the moment. Thorga Boomhowler has been captured by Crix, and that's what the players here at Lock and Load in the narrative event are really trying to prevent. Yeah, they're kind of trying to save her. Obviously, the other guys, they're not so much, but we'll see where we get on that one. The other side of the fighting forces, though, of the Southern Creels are the Kithguard. They're the standing army of the Southern Creels, or the home defense. We're starting to see them come into this now, obviously, as we've seen on the tables, as Matt's just suggested. And if you haven't stopped by the narrative tables, please do tomorrow and come see some really cool models. They're kind of like a guerrilla fighting force. Lots of traps, lots of ambush tactics. I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to spoil anything too much for these other guys, but why they're important? Because they're going to be pulled into the conflict that's happening throughout all of the Iron Kingdoms. We'll find more about that next year as we start to roll out some of the narrative.
Cool. Thank you, Bud. Am I good? So, great trailer. Thanks to the guys for putting that together. As Sherwin says, the playstyle for the Kithguard revolves around a trapdoor mechanic, which is a way of modifying the ambush rule. And the Kithguard have many different ways of enhancing and changing and amplifying the way that the ambush rule works. What you end up with is an incredibly mobile, unpredictable force, very hard to pin down, very hard to understand where they're going to come from. They have a huge amount of versatility, so they're going to be a very challenging army to play with and very challenging army to play against, but a hell of a lot of fun. What we're going to talk about here is a little bit about the command, the command starter set led by Craghorn, Sergeant Craghorn. What can I tell you about him? So he has the ability, so typically ambush happens during the control phase. He has an ability that allows you to ambush a model in mid-turn. So if you need to get someone in somewhere because your turn isn't going the way you want, you've got the versatility to ambush a model in and then get them down on there. So if you're putting your trapdoors in sensible places, that's how you're going to control the battlefield. Where Craghorn really excels is he's able to put out on his feet turn trapdoors within his control area. So he has got some real tools for popping up things out of nowhere. Let's click onto the next thing. So these are the things, this is the character unit that comes with Craghorn and part of the battle group, the Scrappers. There's many things I can tell you about them, but the most interesting thing is that they come with Backstab, which gives them +2 attack and damage on the turn that they enter play. So don't stand near trapdoors when these guys are off the field, as it were. Let's click on to the next one. Well, there's two characters on screen here. They're both important, one more than the other. I bet you can't guess which one's the most important one. So Rud Felai, great sniper model, gives out prowl, but more importantly, he has a really interesting rule which allows him to put out 3 guaranteed damage to something. So it's like an improved anatomical. So he can dish out 3 regardless of armor, which is a very, very, as someone who constantly leaves things on 1 bloody hit point, perfect. Absolutely perfect. But the hero, the champion, the leader, Private Rattles, he is there digging out trapdoors. He's out there ambushing models in. He's just, yeah, he is the glue that hangs it all together. So, yeah, keep your eye on Rattles. He's a legend. And then Clangor. So, pretty no-nonsense, massive dire troll, huge machete, brutal charge. I think it's brutal charge, or is it powerful charge? Sure. Yeah, it's something like that, yeah. But he picks up missiles and he fuzzes them at people. Force reload, so he can be dishing out AoEs multiple times through the battlefield. He's just a no-nonsense, going to get in wreck your face style dire troll. So, and a great model. I'm going to hand back to Rich. He's going to talk to you about some more merch.
Happy days. So, part of growing Warmachine is not just growing the game, but obviously everything around the game. You know, the license partners are a big part of that, so we get into different spaces that we may not always be in. So, we'll do a bit of an update of where we're at with license partners and how we're rolling that out. So Warmach, very much on the UK side, but they are definitely expanding into the US. We've got some examples on the table over there, but really quality magnetic trays. Most of the Steamforge staff use them as well, so definitely check those guys out. They are really tip-top. Broken Egg at the back of the room. Yeah, so long time loyal. Even more stuff coming again this year. You can see some of the brand new items coming there. So we'll continue to improve our tokens and get more and more out to help people deluxify their experience. Baron of Dice, another key piece that we've got there. No C&Ds from us, all good, right? But yeah, Baron of Dice do incredible dice. We've been super happy. They continue to roll them out. We've got more new sets coming out. We've got a full roadmap with them, so we'll continue to build on the Warmachine brand and get more dice in everyone's hands. The cool lock and load ones you see, again, we did exclusively for this show, which is really cool. Deep Cut, again, US, EU side, this one, but it's well noting. The neoprene mats, again, Deep Cut, they also ship to the US. Really good, we've got the new Kidorian mat there, some of the new terrains with the Crix ones, etc. So real nice range of mats. Again, getting new mats onto the tables, increasing the store presence, increasing the presence at home, and enjoying the experience, getting that hobby side as well, so everything feels great. Speaking of more mats, FLG as well, our other partner in the US, which you're more familiar with. So you may have seen some of the streams. We've got the Drop Zone Alpha ones and the Manufactorium. So again, there's more maps coming from this as well. So we're going to continue on working with our partners, getting more and more neoprene, so different ways to play the game and help that visual look of the game. New partners. So really cool one here. Yeah, so Goblin Hobbies. Really cool products. We met them about 8 months ago, so Adepticon time. Yeah, Adepticon time, so Brent and Corey. So really, really quality work. So they come up with a brand new system for transfers on miniatures, and they showed us this, and we went, we have to work with you guys. We really want to work it. So yeah, super happy to announce this. If we go to the next slide, we'll see that these are kind of the initial ones, the plates we got done. So again, bringing that hobby side in, being able to put transfers easily onto the models, customizing them, make the painting side even better. We're super happy to this come out. Details of the rollout will come out, but yeah, we're super, super happy with these guys. Terraniacs. So again, here at the back. So Terraniacs, amazing. Their own work is amazing. So we reached out with Tyson's a long-time friend of Steamforge and what we do with Warmachine. So now that we have the official license to do the physical copies of our STL range that we do as well. So if you want actual physical terrain, then these are guys to go to. As you can see here. There we go. So.
Hello, Lock and Load 2025. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jim.
Hello, Lock and Load 2025. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we're from Galactic Armory.
For the past 5 years, Galactic Armory has been on the front lines of cosplay, putting fans all across the world into the armor of their favorite characters.
That's right, our goal has always been to arm creators with the tools and the knowledge to turn fantasy into reality.
And today we're here to announce we're taking our next big step by partnering with Steamforge Games to bring 3D printable Warmachine cosplay to life.
It all kicks off with the launch of our first wave of helmet, armor, and weapon 3D print files at Adepticon 2026.
We're very excited to be partnering with Steamforge Games to give Warmachine fans the tools they need to represent their favorite faction, all while being cease and desist free.
For now, be sure to follow Galactic Armory's socials for updates on these new Warmachine cosplay files, and we'll see you at Adepticon 2026.
So yeah, we obviously huge YouTube channel, incredible work. If you know Galactic Armories, the work they do in the cosplay and prop scene is stupendous. It's incredibly good. We may have reached out after some of the news broke on some of the activities there, and we had a conversation, and we are super happy to have the official license for Warmachine, and we will see that at the first, like I say, Adepticon. So again, bringing cosplay into the scene, again, expanding our reach is very, very important for the growth of the game. Printed cards. It's got the biggest applause. So yeah, we've been working behind the scenes with Forgefire. I will set expectations. This has been a much bigger project than we expected, just because the sheer amount of data, transferring it all, getting it all working. But as you can see here, we're getting close now on this. So we are continuing working on in the background. Again, the team at SFG really do put the effort in. The behind the scenes stuff we don't see to get this stuff is immense. So again, we are getting very close. So again, news in Q1 on this one, but it is progressing. So we're going to update you on that. Mini crate. So we definitely got a reception that since, when we took over Mini crate, we really wanted to kind of not get the novelty out, we wanted to improve the quality of the Mini crate, bring a bit more serious models and give new twists on things. So the reception of that has been growing demand, really popular, especially the OG Orgoth twists, things like that we've done. And then we're continuing that. So we've got a Christmassy themed, but with the Shadow Tongue in December. So it goes to Christmas past kind of vibes. And then bringing a bit of the old Legion back in with the spinner there as well. Warmachine Digital. So this is more of an update just to see everyone. So the app has gone through a couple of transitions in the background. Again, we want to make sure everyone's aware of this. We've got a brand new studio coming in for app development, which is going to really help the actual plan for that. And that's going to deal with some of the issues that have been around for a few years on the app and that. We know it's a fantastic app, and it really is from the space, but there's so much more we want to do with the ebooks and the e-readers. So it is continuing again. It's just more of an update to make sure everyone is aware that we are working again heavily on that, and we'll start to see some more updates and a big update in Q1 in Adepticon on this. This is an important one. We did say do it in the room because of the Wi-Fi. You can't do it right now. But please, just after this, we want to do a Black Friday live stream. So a full 8 hours. I'm looking at you. 12 hours. 12 hours live stream. 12 hours, yeah. Matt's found out just now. Yes, that's fine. So yeah, we're going to do a 12 hours live stream. There is going to be plenty of surprises throughout the live stream. So definitely worth tuning in. If you can after this, go and follow us if you haven't already. Much appreciated, because we want to get that 1,000 before we launch. I think we're over halfway there already, but I'm sure this will help get us there. So please follow it, and then we can all stand there for 12 hours. Cheers for that. Warmachine 3D. That's it. Yeah, great. So, the release for the Dark Operations. So, the Dominator Strike Reavers is the final release in December. And that rounds off the final one. I think people have really appreciated what we've done with Dark Operations, and this is how we want to treat, legacy content. If we bring it back, this is how we're going to do it. And I think this was a great example. The Warmachine digital subscription as a whole, the reception has been fantastic. The support we've had from it, and it's another way to get into Warmachine. The fact you can pay $10 and you're in, it just makes the barrier of entry so much lower and gets more people playing this great game. That's the next one. It's not just that in December. We have to give some sort of Christmas present, right? So in the subscription as well, the Colossal will be in there as well. So we all know how good this model is. So you will get the full Colossal to print at home. Good luck to your printers, because that's a big model. Yeah. And now I'm going to pass over. I'm going to pass over to the Master of Pigs now, and he'll take you through the next bit.
Can we just bask for a moment in Helga's glory? Thank you.
She's better on wheels.
I don't want to tell you, right? Quest isn't canon. I could mic drop there, but there's more cool stuff to tell you. So the next army, I get you guys are excited about Crucible Guard. I get you guys are excited about Cephalix, but it's Thornfall. And much like what we do with Cephalix and will be doing with Crucible Guard, in fact, that's already going anyway, is there's some quality of life changes to the existing list. And some of that is adjusting points. Some of that is looking at abilities and that sort of stuff. And some of that is going to be some cool new stuff. And Return of Stone and Drang. So I think it's time that Pharaoh had multi-wound infantry. That's true. I tell you what, let's raise that. How about multi-wound cavalry? And now I'll move on before people start shouting at me. Told you enough already. So, that's interesting. There should probably be something else in that picture, right? Move on. Meet Latirsis, which is a name that Rich can't pronounce. So Latirsis is a bone grinder heavy.
Yes.
It's got 2 heads. As one does. Very excited to see what we can see here. Also, thank you, Charles, for painting it so quickly. Cool. Let's move on. Okay, I'm going to go away now, but Pharaoh are really cool.
So, with Crucible Guard, they've kind of been the next edition of what we were talking about earlier with the Dark Operations. We've done a quality of life adjustment to them in game development. We're going to be adding some new abilities to existing characters. We're also going to be adding some new characters. So, for example, one of the things we've done with Crucible Guard is every single warcaster in the army now has a new global rule. It's called Chemical Warfare. Whilst you're within the warcaster's control area, or while enemy models are within there, then continuous effects you don't roll to see if they expire. And they also do double damage. Do you want some more? Should we see some more? You know, next slide. New models. So this is the Triumvirate. This is a new character unit that effectively forms part of what will be the Crucible Guard command starter. They're sort of like additional alchemical spellcasters. They generate additional tokens themselves that they can use to boost attack and damage rolls with very powerful attacks, and they can cast spells. One of the new spells that we've enjoyed putting into the army, which this unit had first, but is in a couple of different places, basically we like the idea of stacking effects on top of additional elements. So when you have those continuous effects that now don't roll to expire, when you fire some of these spells at those models, you'll get additional dice for each continuous effect that's on them. What else we got? So this is Apollo, the new character Light Warjack that's part of the Crucible Guard command starter. It canonically belongs to Lucas de Moray. Has some specific abilities that work with Lucas. That dart launch you can see in its left arm has a couple of different shot types that we really enjoyed experimenting with what we can do with. So do you know that sort of exploding acid bath effect that's on sludge thralls? He can fire that at people and then you blow them up. And some other cool stuff. And there you have the Crucible Guard command starter overall. So they're going to be available to order online. They're going to be available here tomorrow. And for Warmachine Digital subscribers, you'll be able to purchase the STLs 50% off. You couldn't refresh Crucible Guard without giving New Gorman. There's some really powerful rocket shots that come out of that. I mean,
Who's he playing for, Jamie?
Oh yeah, so as well as playing for Crucible Guard, he will also play for some of the new Mark IV factions. He'll play for Keynote Winter Corps. He's going to play for Necrofactorium. He's going to play for Storm Legion and I think Gravediggers. Let's move on to the next one. SR26. So, as you quite well know, we like iterating on Steamroller to take what we like already and try and sharpen it up a little bit, make it a little bit better, and then bring us some new stuff to try something new each year. So this year, again, we're going to be bringing in at least 3 new scenarios, and then holding on to, I think, about 3 of the ones that we like the most. And
Say which ones they are.
no, I'm going to say which ones they are. The reason why I'm not going to say exactly which ones they are is because I'd be spoiling the playtest experience for tomorrow. Those NDAs are going to go a long way now, aren't they? I'm sure I'm missing a point. That's fine. Yeah. Casual play sport. It's casual play.
Yeah, okay. So casual play, as you know, that's one of my primary focuses. So we're coming up with at the moment, there's 6 solid scenarios. Each can be played either a low point game, 30 to 50 points, or 75 or 100 points, and the deployments change. These are scenarios that are predominantly focused on asymmetric experiences. They're typically looking to challenge generals in different ways. So, for example, one scenario, your army might unpack in an unexpected order or over a period of time, and you need to learn how to deal with this. One of the biggest inspirations, and it's well worth, if you're not aware of it, is the concept of Fischer chess, which was invented by Bobby Fischer, a new way of playing chess, which actually most chess professionals prefer to play. And it's largely a random deployment style. It's kind of semi-seeded random, but it creates a really challenging experience because every time the game is different. And that's one of the key mantras for this casual pack, because there's 6 scenarios in there. You can play them at whatever point levels you want, but I want them to feel like they're different each time. One of the big changes that we're going to be putting into this is the concept of a recon or a scouting role, and the scouting roles, the results of which allow you to have temporary effects. So you might get extra AD, or one of your models might gain the ambush ability, or something else might happen. You might be able to push one of your opponent's forces units back. So every time the game starts in a different game state, so it should be very, very replayable. That's not it. On top of that, there's a small campaign system that we're putting together. So if you do want to run as a series of linked games that have some kind of connective tissue, it's very much a modular style campaign experience. So a lot of the narrative load will be put on you at your table with your friends, depending on what factions you're playing and how the games go. But there will be an underlying structure for you to keep track of where you are in the campaign system. And what you decide to do on your game turn determines which scenarios you end up playing. So should be a really, really fun experience. It's playtesting really well at the moment. Super proud of it. Really can't wait to see you guys get your hands on it and see what you do with it. January 26th. Do you want me to start? What am I talking about? Well, there's 2 big changes that we're doing in the January update. 3 if you're really technically kind of counting. So the most obvious one is obviously quality of life changes. There are some models that are super good at the moment, and some models that are not seeing enough gameplay. So obviously, typical January updates, we're looking to address some of those imbalances there and look to kind of bring things up in the meta or up in the play rate a little bit more, so we can see different warcasters and different units on the tabletop. But that is against the backdrop of 2 fairly big changes. I'm going to talk about one which is probably quite controversial.
Yeah, we're going to apologise to Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan, you're going to have to change your YouTube channel name. Where is he? So we've thought long and hard about the spell rack, and one of the things that constantly comes back to my mind is, if I am a new player, how do I work out to use the spell rack in an effective way while I'm getting my face stomped by someone who knows how to use the spell rack in an effective way? And for me, when I look at how we can open up design space for the different warcasters, it enables us to specialize warcasters in a different way and simplify and streamline that new player experience into the game. Spell racks just had to go. So we are taking... I honestly thought I was having to sell it to you guys. I thank you for the applause. Bloody hell. So no, spell racks are going to go. So what we have done is we've taken the more egregious spells off of the spell racks, and they are going to just go out of faction. So Carnage, not nearly going to be as popular as it was this year. We've allocated the spell racks out across the warcasters into the existing factions, and where there are gaps and where it makes sense, we've created brand new spells or brand new spell loadouts for warcasters to give them a really, really strong identity. Over to you, dude.
So, just dovetailing off what Matt said there, taking the spell racks away means that we can have the more unique spell lists, affixed to each warcaster in a way that we couldn't do before. So, for example, if you take Calder for Storm Legion, she's going to get countermeasures, which is the for people who can't remember, it's the upkeep spell that means that opponents can't make ranged attacks near to the unit with a spell on them. The second one is going to be that I'm just going to call him Boris because I can't pronounce the full name. In Winter Core, he's going to gain snipe, so Kader are going to get that snipe for the first time. So we can push the envelope in terms of the types of spells that are on each warcaster to make sure we really push the identity and playstyle in a certain direction. The second big topic for the January update is going to be to do with a concept called lethality. Now, you might have seen us talking about this in AMAs in bits and pieces throughout the year. We really wanted to have a really deep dive look at lethality, because what can often happen with games at the moment sometimes is they're a little bit clinical in terms of it's all about getting the perfect first engagement, which can lead to standoffish games because people are afraid to put their models in the middle of the table because they know they'll get wiped out 1-for-1 a lot of the time. This didn't used to be the case in previous years of the game. So the way in which we've looked at this is we're taking a very gentle first step here. The first one is that spell racks themselves going away is going to generally mean that there are fewer hit-fixing elements in the game that are as easy to access. The second part of this is having a general adjustment and having a look at the hit rates in terms of arcane attack stats, RAT and MAT. Now, these haven't come down a lot. They've come down maybe 1 in certain places or 2. But we've basically gone through and we've standardized and allocated where certain stats should be. So you'll have, say, prestige stats on a character war beast. If it's really good in melee, it will have MAT 7. But if it's not meant to be as good with ranged attacks, it might only have RAT 6 or RAT 5, rather than having those really good stats across the board. So we've made sure that we've identified what those models should be doing. We're having a look at certain different types of attacks across the game. So another one would be sprays. The definition of sprays in the rulebook still says short-range devastating attacks. They are not short-ranged. So the range of sprays is generally coming down by 2 to 4 inches across the board, with some exceptions. And some of the truly longest ranged attacks, so 14 to 18 inch ranges, are going to come down by about 2 as well. Not all range attacks, but some of the really long range ones are coming down. So, and then between these two things, what we're hopefully expecting to see is that when a unit charges another equivalent unit, it shouldn't necessarily always just wipe it out first time round. It'll take a bit more effort to achieve that, which means games are going to become a little bit messier, less clinical, and hopefully more fun. the last thing I want to mention about the January update is the release date. We need to set expectations. It is going to be in January. Now, one of the things that we were a little bit surprised by is when we were still coming back from the Christmas break on Jan 1st, you're like, where's the update? So we're going to let you know this time. It's going to be on January 21st is when you get both SR26 and the January update. Next slide, please.
Okay. If only I could do a Donald Trump impression, but we appreciate your full attention in this moment. It's quite serious. Let's play it. The importance of these character jacks. These were the first character jacks. They came with their own story, their own narrative, their own key parts that they played. In the faction identity, but also how the faction played. So they ended up really being quite integral and quite important keystones for a faction identity. So the Apotheosis era was a really important era for Warmachine. It brought larger models, and it brought this sort of sense of innovation and grandeur. The scale had suddenly just got a bit bigger. But I think one of the most exciting things about that particular time in Warmachine was the release of the very first character warjacks. So up until that point, warjacks had been, essentially a pattern-based entity, but now they had an actual name, a personality, and they really formed a core part of your faction's identity as a result. And I think this is why we're seeing so much love and so much nostalgia for these jacks that you first saw in the Apotheosis era. These characters that people had fallen in love with back then, and what do they now look like now, but with this larger footprint and this larger presence on the tabletop?
So the Thunderhead has always been at the forefront of Cygnar technology back in the day, and there's no change now. He continues to push the boundaries of what Cygnar do in the Iron Kingdoms and their technology advances that they show everyone else. So the Thunderhead has got a very cool ability called Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction allows this building momentum throughout the game, and every turn the Thunderhead in this iteration gets more and more powerful and a real threat on the board that you've got to deal with. One of the ways this Super Heavy actually interacts with the game is through its drone servitors. So every turn it can put a drone servitor on the board. That interaction allows these new little solos to cause havoc on the board. And as the game progresses, they get more and more powerful and more ways of utilizing these drone servitors to impact the game. He brings a brand new playstyle to the game and really helps encapsulate what Cygnar are about, bringing the electrifying game to the table. Ionization becomes a key factor of the army, and he really helps bring that to the table, spread it around through servitor use, and is a cool Super Heavy. Yeah. So like the other Super Heavies, typically you build the list around the Warcaster and army, but the Thunderhead is so iconic in what it brings that actually you can build lists around it, right? The electrifying damage it puts out and the increased ionization, the way it can pulse on the board, all the kind of functionality it has really helps you define what it can be on the board and really helps bring out the electrical game of Cygnar, with Stormlegion especially. I think this is going to be Spark Armor's best friend on the board, so we'll see that happening, I think. So the Thunderhead Super Heavy, as you may have seen, it flies, right? And so bringing a real new dynamic. It's the first flying warjack that Signar have had, which is kind of cool. On the board, when you see it, like the model itself is incredible. It's like levitating on this electrical field, traveling across the board. Really kind of iconic and eye-catching model. The little servitors are also pretty cool. They kind of add to the flavor. But I think it really helps, again, bring that Storm Legion element. Like the idea of this faction is all about modern technology, bring the electrical gameplay into it, and causing the storm and surge across the board.
So Deathjack's just the best. I just have vivid memories of every time you put him down on the table, your opponent's shoulders just slump a little bit. And he's the apex predator. He's got his own agenda. He's no one quite knows what he's there to do. He's like man of mystery or jack of mystery, but incredibly powerful, very, very scary. Always earned his points. That's a lie. He didn't always earn his points.
So Deathjack is a creature which has been roaming Western Immoran for some time. It wasn't defeated or destroyed during the claiming like a lot of other warjacks and a lot of other characters were. It's something which has been out there somewhere. And it's something where Crix have found this creature. And that feels like the best way to describe Deathjack. It's a very unique warjack. It's not the same as the others. It's not inherently Crixian. It is something unknown from before then. Its agendas align with the Crix, but for the moment. And this is something where this has now come back to strike terror into the hearts of everyone, players and our world alike.
So Behemoth is the original character warjack for Kado. It very much epitomizes the sort of the heavy armored, raw stats, brute force playstyle of Kado, and very much in Wintercore style as well. Behemoth, before the original Colossals, was the biggest warjack on the table, so you always had that intimidation factor of just putting this enormous model down. And you get that again with the new super heavy version of Behemoth. You put it down, it's an intimidating model to play against. You know what it can destroy, you know what it's going to take to destroy it as well. And it has that sort of fun level of your opponent knows that psychologically that you're playing against something that's difficult. Of course, making them into super heavy warjacks makes them an 80mm base, puts them really nicely between heavies and colossals, and they're just a really intimidating and imposing force on the table. So Behemoth 2's silhouette is very iconic to Kado players. You've got the outline of the big shoulders, the bombards going across the top as well, those huge fists it hits with the shaped charges, the blasting fist that it punches through things with. But the bottom side of it now, it kind of looks like it's been stuck on top of a bison. It has these all-terrain tracks that allow it to move with so much more swiftness and through terrain that it couldn't do before. So it's still this mobile shooting platform that will just obliterate anything it comes into contact with. The return of the Behemoth is a really iconic moment for the Kadoran people. Kado's really suffering with the Orgoth invasion at the moment. They're really taking the brunt of the attacks. They're losing a lot of land. They're losing a lot of manpower and resources. So this really represents a changing of the tide where they can rally behind this iconic national figure. I think fans of playing Kado, new and old, are going to really enjoy putting this model on the table. It's iconic, it can lead your army, it's a centerpiece, and it's just great to have it back.
So Azdorak is unique amongst the other super heavies in that it's not a returning character. It's a brand new one to the world of Warmachine, which is super, super exciting to see. So unlike the other factions, there's never been a tradition of super heavies in the Orgoth Sea Raiders. This is something where their experience of warjacks was originally the original OG Colossals, and then over time they've had agents working within Western Immoran to see what everyone else is doing. They've created this vessel for something, and they've brought it across to Western Immoran with them because there's something quite special about Azdorak. Azdorak is actually the result of a demonic ritual to summon a presence into a body of a warjack rather than a traditional Cortex setup, which everyone else is used to. Azdorak isn't a warjack that's built for liberation of land. It's not something that's built as part of an army defending against an invader. It's an instrument of terror. It's something swooping over the top of forests, over the top of rooftops, leaving a burning trail of ash in its wake. It's a creature which is there as much to just send terror and dread into the inhabitants of Western Nirma, and that's how the Orgoth are using it. It's very, very different to what the other super heavies are in terms of how it operates.
So the challenge for this was creating something that is new, distinct, useful, valuable, impactful, deserving of its place in a modern army. Just want to read you something. We're recording, right? Yes. This is my design notes that I wrote for Azdarak. I'm a massive robot dragon from hell. I'm flying in from downtown and burning everyone on my way. Eat my ash. Anyone who gets left gets their head sliced off and stabbed in the heart until they're dead. Raw. And from that, the guys have come up with something pretty cool.
So one of the most exciting things about the super heavies for me is the visual presence they have on the table. They are centerpiece models. They are something where, you know, we saw it with Invictus, we saw it with Carver, we saw it with Aberration. It's something where people look at these models and get really excited about seeing this centerpiece that can really define what an army looks like. Everything else is built around them.
And each one brings a new play style. They interact with casters that may not have been used before. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that shakes out and how people really use these models.
I'm incredibly proud of where these super heavies have got to from a game design point of view. The background stories that you know, sort of Sherwin and I and the rest of the writing team have been working on, they fit beautifully, and they're really adding so much layers and structure to the story that's being told right now as well. So, yeah, exciting times.
But for players new and old, these are going to be like unique characters you can really get behind. You can really sort of, you know, build a personality to your armor list even if you want to, and just have this be a centerpiece model that you want to play around tactically, narratively. Have a lot of fun with them.
What you feel from a Signar army, what you feel from a Khador army, you're going to really feel that when you put these models on the table. They're from their play style, what they bring to the table, and how the opponent deals with them. So they all really embody what each army represents.
You've got a lot of players that are coming into the game for the first time now that never got to experience these characters the first time round. They'll have heard stories of players that have been around for 10, 20 years about how cool they were to play with, and now they get to play with them too.
I can't wait to tell the stories of what will happen with these characters, how they're going to influence the world, what happens next for them.
It's going to look the same, it's going to feel the same, but it's going to feel different and new and exciting as a result of that. So these character jacks are going to really set the world on fire, I think. Well, one in particular is. I don't know what to say. I feel emotional now. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Kudos to the team who put that video together. That was a lot of fun to record. It was a hell of a lot of fun to work on these models. I can't wait to see these on the table. In actual fact, I'm going to be playing tomorrow afternoon over there with the Death Jack and hopefully smashing some fools to bits. So let's talk a little bit about what the release dates are. So Behemoth is slated down for February next year. And then if we scroll on to the next one, Thunderhead is going to be coming out in March, just ahead of Adepticon. January? We're going the wrong way, China. That makes no sense. We do have some over there tomorrow, so get up early, queue. We're going to open the doors. Azdaraks are going to be available tomorrow. I couldn't wait. I didn't want to wait. December for the Death Jack. Let's go, baby! DJs for Christmas! So yes, again, we've got some over there. So tomorrow in the store, come and check them out. But yeah, if not, get your order in December. We're going to be releasing those guys. And that was the app update that we're alluding to, because I think some of the rules are going to go live tonight, aren't they? Who are we talking about?
Okay. So we'll find out who goes live tonight in terms of the rules. Let's have a look at the roadmap. So we've done the exciting bit. Let's do the roadmap. Okay, so as you can see, this is all stuff that I think you guys know, but just to confirm where the super heavies fit into the roadmap. Our primary focus going into next year is going to be Kithguard. Kithguard all the way through from is it Adepticon onwards, something like that. Yeah, Q1, isn't it? Yeah. The redacted, I'm going to just spoil straight away. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, that was a tease, wasn't it? First of all, I need to tell you about how we're focusing on Kithguard all of next year, so much so that we're going to do the convention model as a Kithguard exclusive. Let's go to the next slide. Hands up who likes the idea of undead elves flying on bats. I know I do. Yeah, let's go. So Fane of Nero are coming out straight after Kithguard. They are looking really sweet. Russ and the sculpting team have done an absolutely legitimate job on these. The pro paints that are coming through at the moment are looking amazing. So yeah, super happy with these. I think you guys are going to really love them. Let's go to the next one. So on the digital side, so again, this is largely just confirming what you guys already know, but we are on the top row. These are the STLs that you're able to pick up. So Crucible Guard, and then going on to Infernals, I think it is, yeah. But then as part of the subscription model, as Rich said, the Dark Ops are coming to an end towards the end of this year, and then it's Thornfall time. It's Carver time, let's go. You know us. We like to hold one more thing back, don't we? You need to book the time off for Adepticon. I will say no more about this, and neither will anyone else. Adepticon first reveals it will be minis. You will see a lot of stuff at Adepticon, so make sure that you book the time off work, save your pennies up, come to Adepticon, make it the best keynote that you've got. We're going to talk about Menoth at Adepticon next year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all we got, guys. That's it. Thank you. Are we doing a Q&A? Okay.
Just go away 1 second. Just for the...